Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
The way she right, the way she rock her body. The way she right, the way she rock her body. The way she right, the way she rock her body. The way she right, the way she rock her body. The way she right, the way she rock her body.
On Sean Payton's press conference announcing that he's stepping away from the New Orleans Saints. We'll get you more information as he continues to speak. Let's bring in Adam Schefter here as we remind you that Sean Payton and the Saints combination was the highest scoring coach-team duo in NFL history. What else can you add, Adam, to what you already heard there from Payton?
Well, a few things here to keep in mind. He talked.
Oh, you guys got to say all the nice stuff. Now I get to be the bearer of bad news about
That's why we love you.
future of the
Thank
New
you so
Orleans
much. Shall we
Saints.
set that up?
And what about the money? The money ain't great. Everybody at home is aware of New Orleans cap situation. It's not been great for a while. They're about $70 million over the cap next year, which is the worst in the NFL. There are things that they can do to come under it. Contracts that can be restructured. Michael Thomas comes to mind. Marshawn Lattimore. But there are also free agents like Tron Armstead and Marcus Williams and Quan Alexander. They probably won't be able to keep. And then, of course, there's the Jameis question. Because even if you are able to do some restructuring and keep any of those defensive stars in particular, Armstead, whether or not you think Jameis, whatever you think of him as a quarterback, he is the most desirable free agent option. And the Saints won't just be competing with the Saints for his services. So it's going to be hard for them to retain him given how little money they have. And, of course, that makes a whole new question mark at quarterback.
You know, New Orleans won the NFC South 7 times during Payton's tenure. Only the Patriots and Packers won more division titles since 2006. The success on the field and off is well documented. Let's bring in Dianna Russini, who's had a lot of conversations with Payton during this season and leading up to this. Dianna, what can you tell us about how he was in the lead up to finally making this decision?
Well, you saw him really emotional there, Laura, and it makes a lot of sense because this wasn't an easy decision. I've had numerous conversations over the last few days, actually, with Coach about what he was doing, laying out all the different options. And, you know, what's funny about Sean is, you know, he changes his mind a lot. We saw 4 different quarterbacks at that starting position. They dealt with all different injuries. He had COVID twice. They had to relocate to Texas for a whole entire month because of a hurricane situation there. So this season was simply exhausting, which is the way he described it. And this isn't complaining at all. This wasn't, you know, a head coach going, look at all my problems. Every coach has problems. Every organization is imperfect. They have their flaws. But for Payton, the bigger picture for him, for his life, this is something that he wasn't just thinking about this season, last season. This goes back 3-4 years where he was really trying to navigate, even trying to manage what is next for him. Because there were times where he thought there was nothing else he could give to the city of New Orleans, that the coaching that he had put out was the best he could do. And I do think that there is an organization out there that comes, or at least has ownership, that he would be looking for. And this is nothing against what ownership in New Orleans has done, because you saw what he said, and you could see that personal relationship that he has with Gail Benson. They are as close as any head coach and owner. Their interactions that I have observed myself in the tunnel, on the field, even from talking to both of them over the years, they truly have a healthy relationship and support each other's decision in both their personal life and careers. But I think for Sean Payton, I think the dream for him is to work for an organization where he has full control, like he just did in New Orleans for the last 15 years, but for an owner like an Al Davis that we once saw, a Jerry Jones. This does not mean he's had conversations with these teams, but I think for him, if he's going to go back to football, it needs to be for an owner like that. We know how frustrated he got over the last few seasons, specifically in the playoffs with the no calls. I truly believe he thinks if he's part of a place, a team, a club that has a little bit more juice, things could go their way. And I think this plays into some of what the future for Sean Payton will be. But I do know he is open to anything, as he pretty much put it out there in terms of the media, and who knows what other career. But for now, football coaching is not done for Sean Payton.
All right, that's great to hear. I think a lot of us want to see him coach again whenever the time comes. He can make that decision. Sean Payton is still speaking.